Here, we're just going to look at some environmental trends, right, in recent decades to better understand the trade-off between economic growth, right, and environmental degradation or environmental quality. Now, we're not going to go into any of these in detail, right, but we just want to get a basic sense, right, of different areas of the environment. All right, now atmosphere. So we're focusing on emission, and we are really categorizing emission into two categories: greenhouse gas and other, right? Other air pollutants. Okay, and as most of you are aware of, right, the reason why we're focusing on greenhouse gas is because of climate change. Okay. So here's a picture kind of illustrating the effects of climate change, right? And you can see that everything here going all the way up to the purple, that is change in temperature, right, over this period. Okay? So a little bit over 100 years. Okay. Now, where is this greenhouse gas coming from? Well, first, what type of gas are we focusing on? Okay, so there are a variety of greenhouse gas, and in chapter 12, right, we will go into the science of climate change in more detail. But the reason why we are focusing on carbon dioxide is because by volume, carbon dioxide is the primary greenhouse gas. Right? So in terms of potency, right, methane, nitrous oxide, and the fluorinated gases are actually more potent. But because carbon dioxide is such a by volume is plays a dominant role, our main focus is going to be on carbon dioxide. Okay? Now, in terms of economic sector, where is it coming from? We talked a lot about, like me, generally speaking, right, we focus on electricity and transportation, right? But let's not forget agriculture, right, is easily the second mode, the largest source of greenhouse gas emission. Okay, now where or maybe who, right, is doing the polluting? Okay, so for many years, right, it has been the Western countries, particularly the United States. Right? And I believe in 2012, China has taken over the U.S. as the number one polluter, right, of the of CO2 emission. All right, so here's a website that I do want to show want to show you guys. Let's take a look at that. So here are time series data looking at energy production, right, or consumption, I should say. Right? So these are consumption within the country, and we're going back to 1990. And here, clearly, right, by far, the United States is more than double, right, what Russia and China are consuming. Okay, not gonna hit play, and only see the change, right, in the status here. Right? But furthermore, as the positions of these countries change, keep in mind that no countries here are actually decreasing. So every country here is increasing their energy consumption. So here we go, right? And again, I see United States increasing, but the rate of China is increasing even more, right? And even faster than China. Now there have been some decreases, okay, but overall, these are very rough estimates. But overall, right, this overall is everywhere is increasing, okay. And coming out of nowhere, right, India now has increased, right, and so pretty soon, right, we're gonna see India overtaking Russia. Okay, now India hasn't overtaken the United States yet, but it is now the third largest energy consumption country. Okay, and the United States now is number two, and China continue to grow. Okay, that's and then stop here. Nope, keep going. There we go. Okay, yes, I wanted to illustrate the difference between China and the United States now. Okay, let's pause here. All right, 2019. I'm sorry, 20. Yeah, there we go. 2019. Okay. Oh, pause. All right. So here's where the state of things is now currently. Okay, and if the trend continues, right, if the trend continues, right, where is the growth, going to be coming from? Right? let's look at land and water. Okay, now here's the so each of these color are different decades. Right? So the light blue here, 1990 to 2000. The black, 2000 2005. Right? So not a decade. And then the gray, 2005 to 2015. So that's the next decade. Okay? Latin America gets a lot of attention, okay? With the Amazon forest fires. Okay, well, however, I think Africa, right, deserves some investigation, right, because this is the deforestation over the all three periods of time is much larger than in Latin American countries. Some good, better news in North America, Europe, and even Asia, right, where there's positive forest growth. Okay, water. All right, now we see that with the Green Revolution, right? There's increase in fertilizer usage. There's also dramatic increase in groundwater due to agriculture. Right? There's a fresh water here, and so you can see the blue. By far, agriculture is the number one use, right, of of fresh water, more so than both all other industry and domestic use combined. Right? And Right. And we can see the dramatic increase here is around here, right, after the 1950s. Okay. All right. Now here is a chemical production. Okay. And chemical production, we see that the developed countries, that's in the gray, right, they increase their production, but not by much, right? So since 2000, right, and chemical production, this is both industrial, but also includes things like fertilizer and also pesticides. Right? And then we see most of the growth. Most of the growth is from developing countries. Now, to be fair, part of the reason why you see this extreme growth is that chemical productions in the around the 2000s has largely shifted to developing countries. Okay, so developed countries move away from chemical production, so they ship the factories overseas, and this is what you see here. So this is production and not consumption. So that's an important thing to keep in mind here. Okay, but either way, right, the worldwide use of chemicals will definitely increase dramatically. So, was Malthus wrong? Right? That was a question that we started this chapter with. Right? It took a while to get here, right? But maybe he's not. Right? Looking at the data now, right, we see, his prediction didn't come true. But maybe, right, maybe he just got the timeline wrong. Right? So, 1972. Now, remember, in the 1970s, this is when Early came out with the population bomb, and anti-population movement was really active at the moment. So MIT had a project, the limits to growth. Okay? And this was a mathematical and a computer modeling exercise. So they used the computer at the time to run these simulations, right? And set up a model and put in the data to run these simulations to project the trend of these 5 variables: pollution, industrial output, population, food, and resources. Okay, and here's the result that they got.